Welcome back to Anatomy Made Easy with Ekechukwu, Dora, Ozioma. Yes, in this video we're going to be talking about the types of pelvis using the obstetric classification. Types of pelvis. Now listen, there are 4 main types of pelvis based on the shape of the pelvic inlet. We use the mnemonic GAP, G-A-A-P, GAP. G for gynecoid pelvis, A for android pelvis, another A for anthropoid pelvis, and the P for platypeloid pelvis. GAP. Thank you. Let's take it one after the other. Gynecoid pelvis. This is the most common type in females. It has a rounded or oval pelvic inlet, as you can see. It also has a wide transverse diameter and a shallow pelvis. The features include a wide subpubic angle, a non-prominent ischial spine, and a wide sacrosciatic notch. Yes, a wide subpubic angle, a non-prominent ischial spine, and a wide sacrosciatic notch. This gynecoid pelvis is important because it is most favorable for childbirth. It allows easy engagement and descent of the fetal head. So the function is that it is an ideal birth canal, and it supports the pelvic organs efficiently. The second one is the android pelvis. It is very common in males, but you can also see it in females. The pelvic inlet is heart-shaped and the anterior segment is narrow. The features of the android pelvis include it has a prominent ischial spine, a narrow subpubic angle, and a convergent pelvic wall. I said it has a prominent ischial spine. The subpubic angle is narrow and it has a convergent pelvic wall. It is the least favorable for vaginal delivery, and as such it is associated with obstructed labor. So it is mostly designed for weight bearing rather than childbirth. Good. Now look at the anthropoid pelvis. It has an oval pelvic inlet, as you can see, with the anterior-posterior diameter greater than the transverse diameter. Remember, the gynecoid pelvis has a wide transverse diameter, but look at the anthropoid pelvis. The anterior-posterior diameter is far greater than the transverse diameter. You can see that it is a long and narrow pelvis. It has a prominent sacrum, as you can see, a narrow subpubic angle, and a roomy posterior segment. It is important because the vaginal delivery is possible, but most often with the occipito-posterior position. What am I saying? I'm saying that vaginal delivery in the anthropoid pelvis is better if engagement occurs in the anterior-posterior diameter. Let's look at the platypeloid pelvis. It is a flat pelvis because it has a wide transverse diameter but reduced anterior-posterior diameter, unlike the anthropoid pelvis. The features is that it has a wide subpubic angle, a flat sacrum. Yes, it has a flat sacrum and a shallow pelvic cavity. It is very important because engagement of fetal health may be difficult in the platypeloid pelvis and labor may be prolonged. So it is less efficient for childbirth due to the flat pelvic inlet. Let's look at these different types of pelvis together to see the difference between them. Remember, this is Anatomy Made Easy with Ekechukwu, Dora, Ozioma. The pelvic inlet for a gynecoid pelvis is round or oval. For android pelvis, it is heart-shaped. For anthropoid pelvis, it is oval with the anterior-posterior diameter greater than the transverse. While for platypeloid, it is flat. The anterior-posterior diameter. For the gynecoid pelvis, it is adequate. In android pelvis, anterior-posterior diameter is reduced. In anthropoid, it is increased. It has a greater anterior-posterior diameter. And for the platypeloid, it is also what? Reduced. The transverse diameter for gynecoid pelvis is wide. For android, it's narrow. For anthropoid, it is also what? Narrow. And for platypeloid, it is very wide. That is the transverse diameter. The best for childbirth is gynecoid pelvis. It is excellent for childbirth. Android pelvis is poor for childbirth. Anthropoid is fair for childbirth, while platypeloid is difficult for childbirth. The gender. Gynecoid pelvis is found more in females. Android is found more in males. Anthropoid is found in both males and females, while the platypeloid is found in females, but it is rare. Oh yes, listen. The knowledge of these pelvises will help you predict the mode of delivery. We also help guide obstetric management, assist in identifying the risk of prolonged or obstructed labor. It is also very important in antenatal assessment. Remember, gap, gynecoid, android, anthropoid, and platypeloid. This is Ekechukwu Dora Ozioma of Anatomy Made Easy. Gynecoid is good for gynecology. Android is the male-like pelvis. Anthropoid is the long pelvis. And platypeloid is the flat pelvis. Oh yes, gap. Thank you so much for listening to Anatomy Made Easy. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.